Welcome back.
Welcome back, episode 52 of Outside Voice Inside. Before we get into what it is, I am Syn Delano. This week, it's just, there's nothing spectacular going on. I'm just very tired. It's the sun.
Oh my God. I was about to say it.
It's the sun.
It's the sun. It is working against us in the worst way.
Clothes are not, I have this hoodie on because, my air condition is turned up. But let me tell you how I've been going outside. Tank top, no bra, biker shorts, no drawers. It's just too, if I could go outside butt ass fucking naked to do the things that I need to do, that is what I would be doing.
I'm not going outside.
It's just, I need to go grocery shopping.
Holy
I'm
smokes.
avoiding it because just the trip from the car to the stove
It's
and from the car to the front door.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it.
It's not the fun at all. Like,
it's not. The heat, I have to turn the air condition up super high cooking.
Yes.
Because it makes the whole goddamn apartment hot as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't feel like normal heat either.
Yeah, here's the thing is that when Georgia gets hot, Georgia's very hot.
Yeah,
but
because it's humid.
But this year's hot, it does feel like a different hot than, and I've been here for a long time. It feels like a very different hot than it normally is. It's crazy.
It's exhausting. We went and got breakfast the other day because I took off work Friday because I've had this monster migraine all fucking week. And we went and had breakfast Friday morning and we didn't go far. It's literally an exit up from us. Mm-hmm. But just being outside to go there, we went to breakfast, we got our feet done.
Right.
And then I went by the office to grab some stuff. And then I went and got my meds. And then we came back home. I was like, I don't have no more energy.
Yeah, no.
We didn't even eat again for the rest of the day. Yeah. That's how much energy we didn't have.
Yeah, it's like I am in a car that doesn't have a tent in the window. And so it's like an oven. I love to go to work because when I'm at work, I'm in a parking garage and my car's so cool.
Yes.
When I come out of work, and I've never you will never hear me ever say I like to go to work. Never. You'll never hear me say that like normally, but just because it's in a garage, but now I don't have to worry about that in my home.
Yeah, because you can park it in the garage.
Yes, I can park it in the garage.
So that's me. Who are you and how has your week been?
Hi, I'm Tam Joyner, and moving sucks. I moved yesterday.
Finally.
Yes. And shout out to the movers. First of all, this is the second time that they've moved me, same company. And when I tell you that it happened so fast, that I was like, I'm astonished. Like it was like you turn, gone, and we going across the street. So I will always use them. I will always recommend them to my people because it's a very quick turnaround. So that was the beauty of it. But it's just like when you move and you find shit. First of all, it brings up old ugly memories, and then you just be like, ugh, and then you start throwing shit. But then sometimes you find stuff that you didn't know was lost, but you found it, and I meant to bring you your flags. That was the other thing that I
she found my 4-leaf clover flask.
Yeah, so you find stuff. So for me, I am a person who enjoys change. So moving to a new address and getting rid of shit makes me happy and warm and fuzzy on the inside.
Mhm.
So it gives me a chance to kind of rearrange my life in my mind all over again. So moving sucks, but it's good for me.
It's a good time to purge.
Yeah, it's a good time to purge, but it is 1,800 degrees outside. So it was hot to move, but most of the moving is done. I realized in the move that I have a lot of shoes.
Yeah.
Shoes I've never worn.
You might need to give those away.
Yeah, because a lot of them are stiletto.
We talked about this last week.
I don't know.
Can you do something with your stripper shoes, please?
I mean, because I mean, those days is past. But
You ain't got them knees no more.
I know, but I still got a couple of pairs. I think I can get a couple wears out of two of them that I'm gonna keep.
Yes.
I got a couple of them to keep. But other than that, everything else has been A-okay. Work hasn't been too bad. Nobody's been
Yay.
harassing me. But yeah, it's all good. It's just the move and the heat. It's been a lot. Been a lot.
Awesome. Moving on. Speakerboxxx. What have you been listening to this week?
Okay, so I just have been playing kind of random stuff on my title. So I have always felt this way. I'm a Luke James fan.
Yes.
I feel like Luke James don't get enough love from people. Like I feel like
he's very underrated.
Yes, I feel like there's a group of people that love Luke James, and then nobody else kind of knows who the hell he is, and that kind of angers me in my spirit because I think he's fucking fabulous. But he had a song called Blow that I really, really like. So I listened to Blow by Luke James. Jesus Christ. What was the other song? Oh, still got a chokehold on me. Sir has always had a chokehold on me. And I need new music from Sir.
Yeah, what's he doing?
Because I can't keep listening to John Redcorn like all the time. I mean, now I could, but I don't want to. And then he just recently released a single with his brother.
Yes.
And I feel like if him and D Smoke are gonna do an album together,
bring it.
Just bring it.
Please.
I mean, that's what we really want.
Yes.
I mean, you can throw Davion on there on the back end, your brother, the other brother, and then just make it the whole thing. I'm good with that. So I'm just
down for the family affair.
Yeah, I just want Sir to put out some new music. And the final song is a joke. A tease. Stay With You by John Legend. There's no commentary needed and necessary. It's just an inside.
Yeah.
So there. That's what I've been listening to. And you, madam.
Terrace Martin has a whole new body of workout, and it is so good.
We love Terrence Martin.
I haven't fully listened to it, but it's really good. You know, he has an album that's an hour long. I'm excited about
a whole album.
Yes.
Isn't that something, y'all?
Because I'm so tired of these 36-minute albums.
I mean, look, let's really talk about that. That's like an EP.
It is.
That's an EP.
It is. I'm sick of it. Give me an hour to hour and a half of music. I want to hear it all. So I started that, but Disclosure also had a new body work. Let me tell you,
a whole new album?
Yes, it came out Friday. I'm a huge Disclosure fan,
let me get my shit together.
but I feel terrible because for me to be such a fan, why did I just figure out that they was brothers? Yeah, they're brothers.
Look, you see me.
I'm a terrible fan. I should have known that, but whatever. They have a song a little bit, and it doesn't sound anything like this song I'm about to reference, but when I listen to it, it makes me. Drake has this song where it's either Drake or a girl is singing on it, and she's saying, "I like you a little bit." Mm-hmm. And this song reminds me of that song because he's saying, can we just love each other a little bit?
Look,
But I love this song. I love it.
salute.
Also, I don't know if I'm saying her name right. Ambre or Ambra?
Yeah. You know what? Somebody told me it's like
A-M-B-R-E.
somebody told me it's Amber. Like it's even
It's
though it's
Amber?
yeah, that's what somebody else pronounced it that way to me, but I know who you're talking about.
Okay. She has, I don't know if it's just a new song that's out. That's not what I've been listening to. I was listening to something that off her album she released last year.
Uh-huh.
This song called Superstitious.
Okay.
It's a great song. You should listen to it. Listen to the lyrics. Great music,
Okay.
but the lyrics, super clever writing. I think she wrote it. I think she wrote the song.
But that's the thing is that I feel like for some people that's the lost art in music is the writing piece.
You know, that's my jam.
Yeah, because
I love good writing.
Yeah, good writing in a song kind of will make it what it is. If anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
These conversations used to happen all the time when I was like really, really into rap music. It was like, are you into the lyrics? Are you into the beat? And I don't care who hears this and gets upset at me for saying this. Tupac didn't have the best production.
No.
He didn't have the best music, but his lyrics were undeniable.
But I will say this about, and when people are like, I'm not gonna say I wasn't a fan of Tupac. I like Tupac, but he wasn't my jam.
Yeah.
Like for other people. But that was, I think, when I first heard Tupac the first time, that was the thing that I loved about him.
Yes.
That was what I just initially was like.
Lyrically, he could not be fucked with.
Like that was what made me excited about Tupac when he first came. Like when I first heard it for the first time, that was the first thing that came to me was like his lyrics were like something.
Imagine if Tupac came out today with the production that's out now.
Come on now.
Awesome, right?
Yes.
But I through and through, I really do like clever writing.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I used to be a big Jay-Z fan. People can get upset about me. I'm just not impressed with a lot of people that I used to like as artists.
Yeah.
Now that they're older, because they're just into different things.
Yes.
So their delivery doesn't give me hype like I used to be.
Here's the thing that I've always thought about artists is that when you first fall in love with them, they're very hungry.
Yeah.
When they are fully fed, it doesn't hit the same. And it just doesn't. And that's the thing is that because I feel like sometimes it's hard to maintain the notion of hunger when you're not really hungry.
I will never say Nas is not like top tier rapper because he is, right?
Right.
But Life's a Bitch Nas is different than 50-year-old Nas. It just sounds different. Right?
Yes, and I think that a lot of times that is what we miss in hip hop.
Yes.
And the thing is
it's not there.
But you know what?
That is with some
people. But you know, for me, sometimes I had this conversation about I have decided as an older person who likes hip hop to every once in a while give a new artist a listen to see. But again, I'm not listening to what I would traditionally listen to. So because I always was like, I heard a song the other day. I can't think of the name of the song, but I'll just tell you who's on the song so you can go back and listen to it. But I have decided that the artist that I'm going to give an opportunity to is NLE Choppa.
You've been listening to him.
No,
what are you doing?
No, but the thing is that he's hit or miss. You know that. And I'll say that he's hit or miss. But he does have a song with Lil Wayne. And when I tell you, it's all like as if I was. It's us. Like I need you to. If you listen to that, you'll be like NLE Choppa and Lil Wayne. I can't think of the name of the song, but when you hear it, you're gonna be like, it's like me and Nikki said when we drive down the street. If we play nonstop on the interstate, that we would get where we need to go in about 5 minutes because we be whipping. But that's how I felt when I heard it was on the radio, and I was like, and then start driving all fast. So that is that kind of thing.
Now I have to listen to it. This is definitely sidebar, and then we can get into this ghetto ass planet we live on. But every time I see Lil Wayne, I just be like, this nigga looks so fucking old. And he's hella younger than me.
Yeah.
I just be like, is that life or is that drugs?
I think it's a combination because you have to think he's been in the game since he was a child.
And this is when people are just like, I get a little annoyed when people who have been on the scene forever, when these young kids be like, who the fuck is this? Bitch, you tried it. Like when people do that with Keke Palmer.
Yeah.
Like, you do know that this bitch has been working over 20 years,
yes.
right? Like, not working, like, just stepped on the scene. Like, this bitch is a veteran.
Well, let me tell you something. Y'all better get off Aquila. You better get off Aquila.
Right, but she sting your ass.
Yes.
But yeah, I look at some of the rappers and I have to be like, Wayne is literally younger than all his rapping peers.
Yes.
But this nigga's mad. He's been doing this shit for mad fucking long.
Yeah, and I think that people really like when we talk about kids being rappers, like he was literally a child, like.
But he could he was pulling his weight with the likes of Jay-Z, and Tupac, and Biggie. Like he was ranked up there.
I mean, so that's the thing is that you have people that just, I love Wayne, but I just want some people don't want to give Wayne the respect that Wayne deserves.
Listen, Wayne deserves the same flowers that Jay-Z gets.
Yeah. Wayne, he been out here doing his thing. Hey, it is what it is. Like, you can't deny that, man, even though y'all want to. You can't deny Wayne. So
right. Moving on.
Yes.
The world is a ghetto. It has always been a ghetto, but
thank you very much.
Let me tell you something.
Thank you very much.
And this is even in like cartoons. Planet Earth is just hood. It's like it's always ghetto. Yeah. I've been watching the Justice League.
Which one? The new one?
Youth Justice.
Okay, no. Youth Justice.
I decided to go back because I had watched like the very last season, but I was like, it's stuff missing. I need to go back. So I went back to season 1 and I watched everything. And let me tell you something about the planet Earth. Even in the DC comics, it is just, Earth is trash. They're always like, somebody is always trying to take over Earth. Us silly Earthlings.
Are we the easiest planet to take over though?
It's like, even in Marvel universe, don't nobody fuck with no other planet the way they fuck with Earth.
Yeah, we're the dummies.
Let's go fuck these motherfuckers up because look at all these resources they have that they're not utilizing properly. We're gonna go take it from them. So I've been feeling like Earth is ghetto times 10 because I've been watching Youth Justice.
Right.
And humans always in the middle of some shit. Like, can y'all pipe down, please? So the world is a ghetto, specifically in the entertainment industry. So this segues into that.
Girl.
First of all, what in the motherfucking Black Mirror hell is going on with this AI proposal to scan background actors' likeness for 1 day's worth of pay, and they're going to use this likeness in perpetuity without further pay or consent. They proposed this to SAG and AFTRA. I'm saying out the acronyms. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And the way things are looking, that is a proposal that SAG and AFTRA might be like, oh, maybe, because then we don't have to pay these motherfuckers. It's just, this is so ghetto. And if you guys haven't watched the 3rd season of Black Mirror, a lot of people are just like, it's not hitting the way it used to, because at literally every episode of Black Mirror, that shit could probably happen, with the exception of the werewolf girl. But
but it could like it was that whole AI proposal thing. When I read that, between that and the nigga talking about we just gonna wait till everybody run out of money.
So I was getting to that because Ron Perlman had an episode Like he had a full on fucking fit. And he said some shit, some real ass shit. Like, you motherfuckers sitting up here saying you're not gonna negotiate until people lose their houses and their apartments. Like, how evil do you have to be when you say that shit? Just remember, you can lose there's plenty of ways to lose your house.
Yes, he said that.
Right. And some people, I guess somebody might have called him and been like, you need to take that down. So he issued an apology, but he made it very clear. I'm saying this because I don't want you guys to think that I'm threatening those people, but I'm saying when people come for you, don't think that you can't lose your house too.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Which reminds me, and I've mentioned this periodically, I don't know if you ever pay attention when I do mention it. There's a TED Talk about plutocracy.
I don't think I feel like we have, but
So this is white guy. He's not like a commonly known white like Zuckerberg or elongated muskrat, but it's this rich ass white dude. He's considered a plutocrat, and he just has stupid fucking money for no goddamn reason, right? But he has this whole TED Talk, and he's just like, I want y'all to understand that most rich people, we're not the smartest people. Right. We just, we had to come up and we have all this money. And he was just like, but what's happening is the gap, the income inequality is growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And so us rich people, we got all this money, and the majority of people do not. And they're eventually going to come for us. And he was just like, they'll come for me too. And he was like, and I'm telling the other rich people, y'all got to come up off some of this fucking money because they're going to come for us. Yep. Like, it's not like we don't live in a world where it's not like there aren't going to be some people who are more wealthy, but you see the amount of wealthy people is growing more and more every day. And I think this is what convinces unwealthy people that eventually it could be them, right? Right. But the percentage of the people that maintain the majority of the wealth in our country, it's like this much money goes to this many people. Yes. And this much money goes to this many people. Right. Okay. You can't even see where my other arm is. So eventually, it's gonna turn into the fucking Wild Wild West, literally everywhere. Like, I'm hunting down rich people because fuck y'all. Yeah. So this executive who said this shit, and I want to be clear, there are executives in the entertainment world that I know, they do not make $27 million a year. Right. So these motherfuckers who making 27 million, 47 million, who are just stupid fucking rich, these motherfuckers don't even create shit. Nope. Okay? The executives that I personally know do not make that money. I don't even think I don't think they make seven figures. Right. Okay, so those are not the people that you need to be like, fuck you, bitch. It's these motherfuckers who are just like, we can afford to sit here and not negotiate with these poors. Yeah. Because I'm gonna go on my yachts. Yes. Fuck these poors. Holler at us when they're losing everything. Yeah. And to kind of piggyback on the whole strike thing, there's been a lot of conversation about what their next move is going to be and how they're going to go to content creators from Instagram, TikTok, things like that. But what those people who want to be in the industry don't realize is that that's considered scabbing. But the whole scabbing thing is so intricate because people have to make money, right? Right. And so you have people also coming on like, okay, what we need to do is we need to all cancel our streaming that's not happening. Subscriptions. That's what would have to happen. Literally everybody would have to do it at the same time. Yeah. For there to be any kind of impact. And on top of that, like, if we stop watching stuff too, right, these people stop getting paid even more. The little amount that they're getting. So it's a whole bunch of and a lot of people have been talking about with the scabbing is that
if you do participate while everybody's on strike, that in turn affects you joining the union later on. And I think that that's the bottom piece that a lot of people, because people are like, well, I mean, I may never have this opportunity again. Yes, that may actually be true. But if you do take the opportunity that once people come back, then you won't have any other opportunities in a way, because you won't be a part of the union. So it's kind of, it's a double-edged sword.
Yep.
And so it's a whole lot, but people just got to pay attention to, it's really about, folks, we finna eat the rich. It's coming sooner than people think, because not only are the writers and the actors on strike, UPS is about to go.
Yep.
Kaiser, they went on Friday. So it's just, it's really like, I feel like everybody's just going on strike, right? Waffle House in South Carolina.
Transportation.
Yeah, so it's happening all at the same time. And that's why when they're like, they're gonna eat the rich, I'd be like, y'all, that shit is closer than you think it is. Like, they think it's never gonna happen, but it's way close. If y'all don't fix some of this shit with this money, this economy distribution, it's happening. It's gonna happen sooner than you think.
People who don't have shit to lose are the most dangerous.
Yes.
So if you made me lose my house, you done made me lose my credit score. As a result of that, I lost my family.
Yeah.
I don't have a pot to piss in or a motherfucking window to throw it out of. What's stopping me?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have anything else to live for. Yep. So I could set you on fire. Who the fuck cares?
And
you don't care about me.
And that'll be the end of it.
Right.
Fire.
Like, some people, listen, the reality is some people will be like, at least in jail, I will have a bed to sleep in. Right now, I'm on the street.
Baby, that reminded me of that scene from Orange is the New Black.
Fuck her. Yes.
Yes, when she said that, she was like,
around and find out is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's what's finna. It's, I mean, I'm telling y'all, it's closer than people think. It's very much closer than people think.
It is.
Yeah.
What's going on in the ghetto for you?
Y'all know I got to talk about my favorite place. And my favorite person.
Oh God.
Good old Ron DeSantis in the state of Florida. Let's call him a name. This person is running for president, raised $20 million. He threw his hat in the ring in May. But it's not looking good for good old Ronnie, because he's running out of money already. He entered in May. What is this, July? He's already gone through $8 million. For what?
What do you spend? What, Tamara? I could give $1 million to each of my closest friends and still be a millionaire.
Yes.
And you spend
$8 million.
$8 million in 2 months.
I mean, I'm convinced he's living off the money that y'all donated to him. So y'all might want to check that out. For the people that did donate to stupid ass.
I hope nobody listening to our podcast donated to the Satan.
You would be very surprised about what people do. Some people are more conservative than you really think they are. But yeah, so like, he's burning money fast. So, which, I mean, and because here's the thing is that he still has people that are going to donate to him just because they support him. But what he's going to happen is going to start to slow down. Ever since he got rid of that alimony for life, the white women said,
they mad.
Ain't no way. They said, ain't no way, buddy. So that money is gone. So I don't know who you're going to rely on. I mean, you done shut down everything in the state. So I feel like, and even though the white presenting Latin community thought that they could get a pass, you making that shit hard on them too. So they ain't finna give you no more money, because all of the construction sites gone. So all the people that was working, they gone. You ain't getting no money from them. Like, where's the money coming from, Ronnie?
What did he spend it on?
They couldn't even account for what he really spent it on. Because you didn't even spend that much in like your marketing. $800,000 in marketing. $1 million is something else. Like
There's
there's
6.2 million unaccounted.
where's the rest of the money? Where's the rest of the money? I
Yeah,
told you
he
this.
out here being rich and white.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he living off that shit. I promise you. I promise you.
But Tamara, 6.2 million in 2 months to even living off of that. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yo.
Eating gold Wagyu steaks every night?
Every night. I promise you. I don't know what this nigga's doing.
For your whole family.
Yes, I don't know what this nigga's doing. But
Doesn't make any sense.
the money is getting gone. That's all I can say. The money is getting gone.
That's another reason to eat the poor, eat the rich. Like, you're just wasting money, and you got people out here homeless.
And then here's the thing: is that they said, okay, so they said he has a staff. What did I say? Like of 90 people.
Yes.
Okay, so how are you paying them? Like, are you giving them a large salaries? They're working on your campaign. Like, you have to sustain this. And you know, when you do campaign fundraising and you spend money, people, I think a lot of people don't realize this, there's a limit to what you can spend.
Yep.
So once you hit that limit, my boy, what you doing? Like, you can't use no more money for nothing. You can't pay people. You can't run the ads. Like, what are you doing?
He is fucking exhausting, and he's exhausting to talk about. I hate him.
I love to talk about Ron DeSantis because he's such a fuck up, like an amazing fuck up. I mean, between him and Elongated Muskrat, they are fighting for the spot of how to fuck some shit up overnight. They are tussling for the first place on that.
Let this be another reminder that just because you have money, that doesn't mean that you make good decisions or that you're smart.
Because most times you're not wrong.
Idiots.
So yeah, that was that's the world is truly ghetto, and I'm still fantasizing about Bugs Bunny cutting the whole fucking state off and just letting it float out into the ocean. Just get out of
We
here.
need to find that clip so we can just post that once a week.
Just one,
Okay.
Because what the fuck?
Moving on.
Yes.
We are episode 52. Sexual myths and fallacies.
So many y'all believe.
This is also something that's very ghetto in the world today. Like, my thing is, when you speak confidently about things and you just be dead ass fucking wrong, like
that's my favorite thing is when they say it like it's knowledge and it's truth.
Remember that stupid bitch I was telling you about with the hat, the ball cap? They just be talking crazy. I wish I could remember her name. But she feeds into these sexual myths and fallacies too. And it's just, it's annoying when influencers feed into these things and then their confidence convinces less confident people that what they're saying is true. So I would like.
Oh, is that like the man that told the women that if they ate nothing but potatoes, they wouldn't have a period? Because they're not supposed to have a period.
Who, like,
you let a man with an ankh on his hat and no medical degrees tell you to eat potatoes and stop your period. All right, girl.
What, like, do you want to believe something so badly that you just believe anything? So the first thing I want to talk about is depth of vagina.
Yay, depth
okay.
of vagina.
There is no vagina. Listen, if it is, it's a scientific anomaly.
And an experiment gone wrong.
Okay. If the depth of your vagina or someone's vagina you knows goes a foot deep.
Yeah.
I don't know where that vagina is going, but the depth of vaginas are typically the deepest, the 7 inches. 7 inches. So
look at me.
Even if you can take monster dicks, all of it cannot fit inside. Okay. So because vaginas are stretchy, the width, I mean, it might be a little uncomfortable if it's super girthy.
Yeah.
But the length, it's It's not all going in there.
Okay, so I'm gonna shame. Have you ever seen those porns where the dude is like monster penis and it'd be like half of your dick is out?
Yes, yes.
I have nowhere for it to go, boo.
It's not. So even when a guy is like gorilla beast wars in your ass,
Yeah.
and it's like bam, bam, bam. I just want you to understand he's fucking up your insides.
Yes.
Okay? Because when he's like, yeah, I'm in her stomach, you're not, sir. Do you know what a stomach looks like?
Do you know where your stomach is though?
Yes.
I'm saying when I had surgery,
Yes.
the doctor told me, he said, most people don't really know where their stomach is. And I said, well, what you mean? He said, it's up here.
Yes.
He said, and I was like, oh, so if you telling me you coming in here and you all the way up here, sir, something is punctured in my back.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
hemorrhaging internally.
Yeah.
So that's not you. You're murdering me. Like, just clearly.
Listen, this myth that tall women have deeper vaginas is a lie. Short women have shallow vaginas. It's a lie.
Everything's a lie.
It's a lie. Like the depth of a vagina is 3 to 7 inches.
It is, and that's it. Like you can't.
Like listen, you don't have to believe me.
Yeah.
You can go look this up yourself, right? Now, when it feels like it's really deep in there, but it's painful and it's like he's hitting a ceiling, bitch, that's your fucking cervix. So guys, you're hitting a garage door. You know what a cervix is, y'all? That's this thing that opens up so the baby can come out. If you're pregnant, that's what the cervix has to open up so the baby can come out. I always make this joke, my garage door is broken because my cervix wouldn't open. I only dilated 6 centimeters.
Oh wow!
And my cervix was like, nope, that's not how we having a baby.
Done over.
Well, let me tell you, anytime my cervix would get hit, it was extremely fucking painful. But because people watch way too much fucking porn,
yes.
And that's where they have gotten their sexual education a lot of times. This, you thought that meant do it more. No, you're hurting me. You're hurting, and I'm bleeding because you're hitting something that you shouldn't be hitting repeatedly. You're not supposed to do that. Repeatedly.
I feel like at that point, if it's pain like that, I'm gonna at some point start to fight you, like physically, just start to fight.
But that is one of the myths, is that when you get that pushback, oh, that means she like it, so go harder. No.
Didn't we have this conversation about the move your hand? I put my hand here because that shit hurts.
Yes.
I'm not running away from it. You're hurting me.
You're hurting.
I'm in pain.
You're hurting women. Check in.
Yes.
But that's,
you be so I'm the man. You're killing her.
porn shouldn't be teaching you
no
everything you think you need to know about a woman's body. This is for women also.
Yes.
Okay. Like, please know your body.
Yeah.
Like, get to know your body. Don't listen to these shiftless nignogs tell you about your body.
Yeah.
They don't know your body better than you. Mel Mitch, I love her to death. She does the Hogwarts videos, the Black teacher at Hogwarts. And even more important, she does this skit, Hoes Not Humans, where she makes fun of
the podcast
bros and how fucking idiotic they are. And the most recent episode she had, QD is talking about he know women's body because he a male. What? But honestly, I feel like
QD is a perfect representation. She has it down to a science because I don't think that anything that she's doing is false. Like, that's how people believe.
It's not.
And that's frightening.
I have fucked with hella QDs.
Yeah.
And I just be like, they don't know anything about sex.
No.
They don't know anything about women's bodies. Like girth versus length. So we still, still kind of talk about the depth of the vagina. So fellow sisters, I want you to understand that while I call them novelty penises.
Yes.
So really long penises, long and girthy. Those are novelty penises. Like that's not like, you don't want to fuck that every day. I promise you don't want to fuck that every day, right?
Even the girl, well, even the girl that we saw that on Instagram, the girl that was a porn star, she was like, because it was the concept of the boyfriend dick. That's what they were talking about. Yeah.
So there's these average penises that women make fun of online. I don't make fun of penis size. I get in Tamara ass about it.
Yes.
Her and my other friend Corner, they be making fun of penis size, and I'll be like, "Stop it, y'all," because
I'm trying to be better.
If we keeping it a buck, nobody wants to be in pain all the time.
No.
Okay, and that's no shade to guys who do have bigger penises. I've talked to some guys who have it, and they'll be like, "I don't have sex as much as people think I do," because women see this and be like, "You're not sticking that in."
Yeah,
like that's too big. Listen, the other myth, and I'm gonna just flat out be like, this is a fucking lie. When guys try to tell you that women shouldn't have lots of sex because it stretches out their coochie hole, first of all, you do know that female bodies can give birth to 10, 15-pound babies.
Yes.
Y'all know that, right?
I do know a woman who had 2 10-pound babies.
Right. And that coochie hole still shrunk the fuck back up.
Yes.
Okay, afterwards. It doesn't stay this big. Because that's about how big you gotta be to get a 10-pound baby out that bitch, right?
Yes.
It goes back down to its little tiny slit. Okay. Now the elasticity in your coochie, that has nothing to do with how many penises have been in there. Because you could just have untight coochie and never have sex.
Right.
That's DNA. That ain't got nothing. That's genetics. That has nothing to do with how many people that you've had sex with.
Again, like I said, this myth solely resides in a way for men to shame women.
It does.
Who are who like to have sex, who have had sex with lots of people.
Mm-hmm.
So they just use the whole loose coochie, no walls ass conversation for it's just to shame people.
When we talk about the walls, a girthy penis is far more enjoyable than a long one. Because that's where all the sensation is.
That's what I'm trying to say. I did sip more drink. Yeah.
It's in the wall. Don't let nobody tell you that it's not.
Nah.
You have a coochie, sis.
Yeah, like
even if you are transgender, if you still use that coochie, you know what the fuck it feel like.
But for ladies, I want y'all to start to understand your body enough to feel what is right and know what you're feeling. Just because he told you it's supposed to be like that, but you are hurting, that means it ain't right. If it's hurting you, that's not right. If it's something that you feel and it's good, okay, that's what we want. But don't let nobody tell you that it's supposed to be painful. That shit is not supposed to be painful. It's supposed to be enjoyable.
We talked about kinks and fetishes, and it may be your kink to like a little pain.
Right.
Okay. But that's not a considered norm to just have painful sex all the time.
Yes.
Something is wrong. I remember I was friends with someone who, her dude, he was long. And she was like, I always have pain. And they were like, well, what does it feel like? And she described it to the doctor. And the doctor was like, he's hitting your cervix. He's hitting your cervix. There was pain, there was blood. And they assumed that was a normal part of sex.
No, sir.
No, it's not.
No, sir.
It's not. Like, someone's doing something wrong. So when we talk about that, I also want to get into the stimulation.
Oh, good gracious.
Side of things, right? Stimulation versus pleasurable orgasms. Different things can make a body orgasm.
Correct.
And all orgasm is
it's like a natural, it's just a response, a bodily response.
Thank you. So this is for the idiots out there. And there have been even police officers who like in rape cases, who have been like, well, is it really rape? Because she was obviously stimulated. Stimulation literally happens when I go to the OBGYN, my coochie is stimulated. Not because I want it to be,
right.
It's getting touched.
Right.
It's getting touched. There's nothing sexual about
cold
an
metal.
OBGYN.
There's nothing sexual about cold metal.
Nothing at all. But you're touching a part of my body that, listen, I don't be wearing panties all the time. My jeans can stimulate my shit. I promise I'm not sitting here trying to be stimulated by jeans.
Yeah.
Okay? It's no different than walking outside.
Right.
Men have nipples too.
Correct.
So this can happen to them. You walk outside and a breeze goes by. And your nipples get hard. Does that mean I'm turned on? No, it means that something has stimulated a part of my body.
And there it is.
I want us to stop listening to stupid people, because that's what this is. Yeah. Stop listening to stupid people trying to make sense of things that they just don't understand about their body.
Well, here's the thing that they don't understand, and they haven't done any research to try to, they have not answered their own question, but they're telling you the answer to a question they haven't answered themselves.
When I was breastfeeding, anytime my kid would get hungry, my nipples would get hard.
Right.
Because this thing was like, it's time to eat, bitch. Come feed me.
Yeah.
I wasn't turned on.
Yeah, it's just,
by my kid needing to eat.
It's so weird though that people would think that and then not look into it to be like, oh no, this is, but your mind stops completely at she turned on. Like
there was a lady online, Tamara, and people were calling her a fucking pedophile because when she would breastfeed, she would orgasm. And it's like, do y'all not understand how a human body fucking works? But because that didn't happen to anyone that they knew or themselves, this woman has to be a pedophile. She wasn't turned on by that. That was something she couldn't physically stop. That's just like when some women are raped.
Yeah.
They cannot stop their body from orgasm.
Yes, they can't stop their body from responding. They don't want to be there. They don't want it to happen. But that's a lot of times where, like, even in situations where it's like a date rape. Yeah. She seemed turned on by it. No, she was horrified, but she couldn't stop her body physically from responding to what was happening. Like, and that happens a lot, and people want to make it something that it's not. That woman did not want to be sexually assaulted. She did not want to be raped.
But because people believe anything and everything that they hear, with the influx of information on the internet, you have people spreading these myths and fallacies.
Super lies.
Related to sex. It's just, it's stupid. Learn about the human anatomy. We're not too old to learn something new, even about your own body. Like, do you know your body? Do you say, okay, this is how I feel when this happens, or this is how I feel when that happens? Yeah. Like, know when your body changes. Yep. Like different odors, different fluids, different everything, how your body responds, and different, like, right now, this is not sexual, but I have a pinched nerve in my back. But if I walk a certain way, I can feel it in my fucking foot.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's just
like nobody.
I feel like, again, we say this. I feel like we add this month. We've said it every week. They're taking sex education out of schools. But people still out here fucking. You have to educate yourself on yourself and learn these things. And I feel like there's so much shame associated with sex. Like that people put on other people that it stops them from doing the necessary things to make the situation pleasurable, safe, like to learn the right things. People are so embarrassed by it that, I mean, I feel like that's why sex educators are so popular now, because it's somewhere for people to go that, I mean, shit, my age, that have nobody's ever taught them shit, and now they're just finding out things about themselves. There are people like that in this world. So it's just,
there are.
It's just about educating yourself. And a lot of times people don't want to try, or they have all these things, but you have to. I mean, do you want to have good sex or not? Like, I just
listen. I talked to one time, and this is when I was 20. I talked to a woman who was 42, so she was old enough to be my mama, and she said her husband had never given her head. Never.
How long had they been married?
Over 20 years.
I'm having a whole DJ Khaled moment.
So 20 years. They have been married over about 20, 22, 20, about 25 years they have been married. And he had never, had never given his head either, because he said that was unclean for a wife to do.
But I bet you there was a side bitch that was taking care of it.
Oh, he definitely was getting it in. He was definitely getting his dick sucked by somebody. It wasn't her though, Shannon. She confirmed this. But these are things that, this is a 42-year-old woman who had never experienced that. So imagine all the things she didn't know.
Yeah.
Right? But her husband, someone she's supposed to trust, is telling her, and this goes back to the shame associated with a lot of sex, that it's not okay for her to do that because she's a married woman.
No, she's out here sucking strange dicks in the street.
She's sucking your dick, man. And you told her.
I feel like we have had more dick sucking conversations in the past 3 weeks.
We have. I can't imagine. But these are the lies that people tell each other.
Yeah.
And then you have, I know some people think in terms of themselves too, like, I'm a 43-year-old woman and I know what my sexual history has been.
Yeah.
So to hear another woman my age, but then I think about, because there's so much shame attached to sex, if you were told to save yourself, and we don't get into virginity and sex, if you were told to save yourself for marriage, right? The idea is you would not engage in any sexual activity until you got married. And then if you come from a religious background, that is the only person that you are ever supposed to have sex with, the person you're married to.
No.
And in some instances, when I was a practicing Jehovah's Witness, you could not get divorced unless your partner committed adultery, right? And in some instances, even with a divorce, like, if you consummated the marriage again, so say you're like, I'm gonna get a divorce, you had a moment of weakness and you had sex with them again, you couldn't get a divorce until they cheated on you again.
No.
So there's shame. The shame comes from all different places. So even like when we start talking about shame and we talking about know your body, we need to talk about hymens.
Yes.
A hymen is a thin piece, and for some female bodies, it's a thick piece of skin.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That it's in your vagina.
Yeah.
So when that skin breaks is when a penis can go in and you can have sex.
Right.
But there are some people who are not even born with a hymen.
Yeah.
And there are some people who are very athletic And so their hymen breaks, they'd have no idea that it's even broken, or
Right.
that it's not even there. And then there are some people, they just be riding a horse and that shit is
Just go. Yeah.
it's gone. So usually when people are like, oh, I popped her cherry, that's usually the hymen that's breaking for the most part, right? But here's the thing, people use that as an indicator of, oh, they're not a virgin anymore
Yeah.
because I slid in so easily, she didn't have a hymen. You motherfucker, it's not your body, you don't know. You can't determine if someone is a virgin off of a hymen.
No, you can't.
Also, hymens can grow back.
Yes, they can.
They
That's
can
something
grow
that,
back.
but again, something folks that have probably never done. So I can be a virgin again if I want to.
If we're basing on that, right?
Yep.
So the whole thing about losing virginity, typically,
Ugh.
this is directed towards female humans. Is it like, you don't really hear that same lingo directed
Yeah.
at males?
No, not
for
at
the
all.
most part. But it's like, virginity is this huge thing that if you no longer have it, excuse me, or you've had sex, you're unclean.
Right.
So this is one of the biggest
Yeah.
lies that is told to girls to make them feel some type of way about themselves.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because here we are in this world that pushes for girls to remain chaste and virtuous and modest,
Yep.
and do not have sex because that lowers your stock. It makes you low vibrational if you out here having sex, or if you out here having sex with too many people.
Yep.
And who controls that number?
Whatever.
Men, right?
Right.
And then other women and girls buy into like, oh, she a hoe because she be out here having sex and this, that, and the third. And if we're not supposed to be having sex, okay? Heterosexuality is such a big thing, right?
Yeah.
To be heteronormative.
Wait a minute.
It's the norm.
Who the dudes having sex?
Right. If we have to remain chaste, we can't lose our virginity. Who are boys and men having sex with? And I'm all for the gay sex. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. Do what you do.
You're right.
But think about how these lies that we ingest,
Yep.
and these myths that we push onto each other, how they just don't make no fucking sense.
I will never forget. Now, I don't think I've ever really told this story. When I was in elementary school.
Yes, we do.
Oh, when I was in elementary school, mind you, I've always been taller, bigger than all the other kids, just because it just was that way. But there was a guy who was new to, listen to what I'm saying, elementary school. He was new to the elementary school. He was someone I knew from church. He was like in the sixth grade. Sixth grade. I'm saying these numbers because I want you to realize how unrealistic this is. He was probably like 2 years older than me. When did that put me? Fourth grade? How old are you in the fourth grade?
It's a sixth grade, you're about 11, 12.
Yeah, okay. So I was a fourth grader, fourth or fifth grade. I can't remember exactly. This young man was telling people he was having sex with me. I was in the fifth grade. But this was the crazy part about it. People believed because I was a bigger girl and I had boobs. So this was people were talking about me. Because it's the whispers, and then when they come in the room, the people stop. We're talking about me as a child about me having sex. And the fact that y'all believed it was even more ridiculous than anything. And then it was kind of like, do I go, because I knew his mama. Do I go tell his mama that this nigga is at school lying on me?
Yes.
But then it was just like, there was a whole shame affiliated with it. And the fact that, for me, I think it was the fact that so many people were willing to believe it with no evidence, but just willing to believe it because he said it. Versus me being a child, look, I'm going to keep emphasizing the fact that I was a child. But you believe that a child was having sex.
And this is a really fucked up thing. This older boy is saying he's having sex with a younger girl, and y'all believed it? somebody should him the fuck up
Yep.
and been like, why are you touching little girls?
Exactly.
But of course, this is the ghetto ass world we live in, where everything is a girl fault.
Yeah,
Or
it was
women's fault.
you know, I had boobs, so I had to. I had to be fucking
You were seducing him with
my child breasts. That's what I was doing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what was happening.
You were being a distraction to him.
Yes, I was you know, batting my eyelashes at him as a child.
And you know, and that's, I know some people are just like, oh, they're children. But the thing is, if you're 12 and you are saying that you're having sex with a 9-10-year-old, that didn't raise no alarms to anybody.
No one.
We be focused on the wrong things,
Yep.
and we be listening to the wrong things, and we believe in the wrong things
all the time.
Something else that goes in there, kind of touching on that, is people who are molested. This is another sexual
Jesus Christ
myth. I don't even know where people get this from. Is that people who are molested will molest someone else, or if you're gay, it was because you were molested.
Yes, it's so funny because when people say that they're gay, a lot of times, if you this is especially on social media, you'd be like, "Did somebody touch you when you were younger?" Why the fuck would you ask me that?
And why would you think that I would tell you?
And what the fuck does that have to do with me being gay? Like,
because it goes back to heterosexuality is the considered norm, you know. Heteronormative lifestyles is it's the default. So even I was reading something the other day. No, it was a video I saw in someone's story, and they were like, how many people like really chose to be heterosexual, or was it like we were conditioned to like do that? Now, granted, yes, some people born straight, just like some people born queer. And I say queer because, listen, sexuality is a spectrum. You guys, this is another myth that y'all feed into, is that everybody is born straight and then people decide to be gay. Listen, get your head out of the goddamn Bible, okay? Because that's people who are just hardcore on religion. Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. And it's like, listen, there are so many science anomalies, right, out there. There are science books that show you that people are different. Your body, there are bodies that are different. I remember, and I always use this lady. I used to work with this lady, I think she was from Germany or some shit. And she had 2 sets of reproductive organs.
Yeah.
That blows my fucking mind, because I'm like, where is that in her body? Because the
lady that got pregnant and they were twins, but it was
her sons. So I don't think she could use both sides at the same time. But she did. She had twins.
Yeah,
they were identical twins, but they were on one side of her. It was a full reproductive organ. So she had, instead of 2 ovaries, she had 4.
Wow.
She had 2 sets of everything.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like her body, you understand, like, and I'm not no little tiny woman. This woman was smaller than me, y'all.
Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yes. So this is what I'm saying is this exists, right? So for people to think that there are people that are everyone's born heterosexual, that's weird to me.
Yeah.
Like, is y'all thinking that limited? But this is a lie.
But
that is passed on.
Yes.
And people are ashamed when they know, and I say this now because I'm older and I don't give a fuck, like, who gonna check me? But I liked girls and women before I liked anybody else. Now, I grew to like boys and men, but it was always, I knew, for me, it was, who am I attracted to?
Right.
And it wasn't just, oh, I'm attracted to you because you have a penis. Like, why?
Right.
Boys were shitty, right? So why would I be attracted to you? You treat me like fucking shit.
Right.
And this is from a young age. I did not have good experiences with male humans.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know. I know my attraction started
Right.
with girls and women first, and then it became boy. But I didn't identify as anything else
Right.
until I was in my late 20s because I was shamed. Like, my parents did not speak highly of homosexuals.
Yeah.
It was not, they didn't say anything that was super disparaging, but it was very clear that ain't gonna be going on in this house.
Right. They let you know. And well, just like you said, you knew early on that you like girls first.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell people when I was a kid, they always like, when little girls have that stage, they're like, "Ooh, boys are yucky." I was like, I never had that. Like,
I know.
I've never had that. And as an adult woman now, I always say, you always laugh at me, I'd be like, God, if I really could choose, nigga, I would not be heterosexual right now at this point. It's ghetto. Like, I was like, do you really think I choose? Like, I like men. Ugh. Like, somebody asked me something, and I was like, unfortunately, I am attracted to men. And the guy started laughing. He was like, unfortunately. I was like, yeah, it's kind of, streets are kind of ghetto. Like, it's shitty out here. So it is what it is. Like, and it was so I always feel like when people think that way, I'm like, come on, dude. Like, I'm the people, and again, my family's religious, and they have that whole, same thing with your family. But it was always, and I would always say this to them when they would talk about gay, they choosing to be gay. And I was like, why would somebody choose the hardest way in life to live based on the way that y'all treat people who are gay or queer? Why would I in turn be like, I would like to choose to have the roughest road in the world?
I would like to choose oppression.
Yeah, I would like to be oppressed forever. Like, why would somebody literally choose that? So when I would say that to them, of course they would get the stupid in their face, because that's like you said, I could have chose to be white.
Yes. Yes.
So I just want people to use your brain space.
It is like challenge yourself to what you believe. Like, just sometimes it just requires you to just sit with it. Like, why do I believe this?
Yes.
This don't make no sense. Or why does it only apply this way, but it doesn't apply that way?
Yeah.
Like, these sexual myths and fallacies, they're not because me and Tamara decided to go to the library and read an encyclopedia and find these things out. It's because that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
I'm gonna challenge that.
It's
right.
Yes.
And or your body.
Yeah. And that is it. Like, I'm not, when I say use your brain space, I'm not like being funny. It's a lot of time. Currently, there's a lot of groupthink going on.
Oh my God.
So much groupthink. And it's like somebody says something and has the word doctor in front of their name, and they're not really a doctor, and then everybody starts spreading it like it's gospel. Like, did y'all know what doctor of what?
But even with doctors,
yeah,
I feel like challenge that information too.
Yes,
because you have studies going on right now that's like, oh, well, we just found out that cramps is like having many heart attacks. And it's like, I could have told you that, bitch. I get these motherfuckers all the time.
When I tell you, when they said that shit, I was like,
but because a man said it. But let me tell you what men also, and these are doctors who went to school, they have medical degrees. They used to say that PMS was hysteria.
Yeah.
It was not called premenstrual syndrome.
Yeah.
They called it hysteria. So anytime we would have, so for me, I have really bad killer kung fu migraines. Like, they make me throw up. I can't eat. I get dehydrated. They're just stuff fucking worst, right? That is my PMS, right?
Baby.
That's my PMS. I can actually feel myself ovulating. And for women who don't know what that feels like, and for listeners who are men who you never ovulate, so you don't know, it feels like having, say, like you fell and you had a gash in like your leg, right?
Right.
And it healed, but the scab isn't ready to come off yet, right?
Right.
Imagine someone taking a golf ball and pushing into that scab slowly, pushing down as hard with all the weight in their body, slowly down the length of the scab.
Nope.
Until no more.
Nope.
That's what ovulating feels like.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
And then I just have to be like, oh,
no.
Okay. And then I can go on with my life.
Like I feel like with PMS, them calling it hysteria, as I got older, all of my it changed. It was like every 5 years it would be something new.
Yes.
Something would go away, something new would come. So as I was young, I never had cramps. Never had cramps. Went on birth control, never had cramps. I don't know what threshold I hit where I would be in so much pain, besides hemorrhaging, I would be in so much pain that I would pass out.
Yes.
From the pain. Like there was no over-the-counter nothing that could make this pain go away. I would pass out. I always tell people when they're like, how does it feel like when you have your period? And I'm like, there's a little man with a pickaxe. Tapping on my ovaries. Like,
and for people who want to know how that feels, like who don't have female bodies, an ovary would be the equivalent of your ball sack.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I just had a baby hammer and I just was tapping your balls all day, not hard, but just tapping them.
It's sensitive, so it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt. So it went from that, and then I had the pain. It went from that. Then it was headaches. I started getting headaches.
Mm-hmm.
Like it traveled the list of all the things that you could feel. And then like I'm thinking, calling that hysteria. Yes, I'm hysterical because I'm in pain. And y'all, nobody believes me when I say that because women.
But to call it hysteria was to downplay it and be like, oh, she's acting out.
Yes.
Because her period's coming.
Yeah, and
it's not that serious.
And that's why, and I think that's why when men are like, is it that time of the month? Let me get this hammer.
I think that every man in Congress should have to do the period simulation.
Oh my God.
And the pregnancy simulation. Yes. But they should have to do it for a full consecutive 12 months.
Yep. And
they cannot be informed as to when it's going to come because a lot of us don't know when our periods are coming. Regardless of the trackers,
right.
This bitch comes when the fuck she wants to. Okay. And they should have to endure it for 12 months straight.
Yep.
Before they can even consider making any laws about women's bodies.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, I've never seen a man do that simulation that does not change their view of women's body. And this goes into the sexual myths and fallacies that people have believed about women's bodies.
Yep.
That, listen, the biggest one that we didn't touch on was when you can get pregnant.
Oh, good God.
Right? Because you don't know nothing about a fucking period and you think that we're being hysterical all the time. You also don't know that it's maybe only 3 to 5 days out of the month that we could get pregnant when we're ovulating.
Yeah.
And they don't necessarily listen. If your soldiers, not them niggas, we won't get pregnant during then anyway.
Yeah. I feel like that itself, that's a growing number because of the use of Los Drugas, niggas with slow soldiers.
Yeah, like and this is another thing. A lot of men will blame women when married men.
Yeah.
When they're trying to have kids, it's your fault that
we can't have kids.
There's other factors that go into how easy, it doesn't matter how fertile I am. If your sperm count is doo-doo, then
It
I
don't
mean, I
matter.
can't do
Like,
nothing for you.
it don't
bruh.
matter.
I
It
can't,
doesn't
I can't.
matter.
Like if a woman, typically, okay, if a woman says she knows who the father of her child is, listen to her. Because we know when we can and can't
Can't
get
get
pregnant.
yes. And again, if she ain't saying it's you, she don't like them niggas. Like she really wanted it to be the other nigga. But
I mean, yes, there are definitely situations where some of us don't know our body, or our body is just chaotic as
Yeah,
shit.
as shit.
Because my body used to be chaotic as shit. I wasn't supposed to be able to have kids. But I found out it was due to, I had cysts on my ovaries.
Yeah.
And they were so big, I could never get pregnant. Them motherfuckers dissolved.
Yep.
And I'm
Nobody
fucking fertile myrtle.
I was like, nobody told you any different. Nobody came back and said, well, now.
Well, the cysts were so big.
Yeah.
It was like nobody knows how long it's gonna take for them
Yeah.
motherfuckers to dissolve. So when I got pregnant, it was a shock. And this is the other thing. You having sex, you gonna get pregnant. There's a likelihood of you getting pregnant, but again, you ovulate 3 to 5 days out of the month.
Yeah.
It really is like hit or miss.
Yes, yep.
I literally would have to be fucking like every day for that likelihood to like be clear and present.
Yes.
Like, bitch, are you trying to get pregnant on purpose?
Yes. And that's just, again, you gotta know, you have to know something about the baddies.
It does. Like,
just know something about the baddies, baby.
Sex is great. Sex is fun.
Yes.
But like, we really need to, and there's so many other things we didn't talk about, like sexually transmitted infections and diseases, like the myth that people who have those are dirty. Listen, you could never had sex a day in your life, and the first time you have sex, you can catch something.
Oh, somebody super gonorrhea you can get from dry humping. So
really,
it's that easily transmittable.
Damn.
So
that's wild.
That's super wild.
Something new. I didn't know.
Yeah, because I read a story. It was a girl. She had not had sex with this man, but they were bumping uglies through their clothes. And he had the super gonorrhea, and she got it from it. But
she had some drips in his.
Yeah, and that was a wrap for her. It was a wrap for her.
Wow. I mean, at least you can get rid of gonorrhea.
Yeah, yeah. So but that is some stuff you can't get rid of. So,
but like, learn about that stuff too.
Yeah.
This is why sexual education is so important.
So important.
Because, excuse me, a lot of people aren't going to teach their kids. Just off the strength, you're not supposed to be having sex anyway. So what do you need to know about that for? Well, I need to know because, the way the world works. I could get raped or, you know what I'm saying? Or I could just decide to not listen to you and have sex. Would you rather people be safe and prepared, or just out here not knowing and harming other people too?
Well, I think that a lot of times for parents, they just want you to do what they say. So they don't care whether it's, because they just want you I want you to obey me. So I don't care about you being safe. I don't care about you being educated. I just want you to obey me.
Bug is about to be 14. He's about to be 14.
I'm gonna lay down on the floor after this is over because she said that.
Bug is about to be 14, and I have periodic conversations with her, like, you doing this, you doing that. And she was like, Mom, I'll tell you. But we have an open relationship like that because, yes, I don't want her having sex at 14. Like, that's a lot of responsibility.
Yes.
At 14, 15, 16, shit, it's a lot of responsibility at fucking 42, 43, okay? But
look, and I'm older than you.
I know, but I want her to be prepared.
Right.
I want her to be safe with her body.
Correct.
And I want her to know when to say halt to
Yes.
people who are being unsafe with their body, because
Yes.
that can affect her.
Yeah.
Whether listen, I don't give a fuck if who, whatever my kid, I mean, I don't want her fucking goats, but you know, whatever she chooses to do when it comes to sex,
Good.
I just want her to be safe about it.
I
Right?
think that should really be everybody's goal is for your kids or people to be safe. And it's too much people just wilding out. There's too much
Yes.
wilding out.
It doesn't. I came from a home where my dad was like, I don't need to talk to you about anything related to sex because you're not supposed to be doing it. Listen, I honestly believe, and I said this to you before,
Yeah.
if my parents would have answered my questions when I was 12, I probably wouldn't have had sex until I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really have a physical desire to do it.
Right.
I was just curious,
Yeah.
like, what is it? Why do I cover my eyes every time
Yeah, something
a scene come on? You know what I'm saying? What is it?
I mean, I get that. I just said that made me think about the conversation I had with my mom, because I was like, at some point I told her I wanted to get on birth control pills, and I think I was like 16.
Mhm.
And she was like, "Wow, what do you need birth control?" I said, "Because I want to have sex." Like, I literally just said it, and she was mortified. Like,
Trying to
but
give
I was
Judy
just
a heart attack.
I just was like, because I'm tired of you asking me all these stupid questions. Like, I asked Mom, "I'm gonna have sex. Can you please take me to the doctor?" Like, and she was looking at me like, "Get your child!" You know, it's like one of those run to the other room and I'm gonna tell your father. Like, kind of comment. So it's like one of those things. So,
But you know, start young. Like, here, learn about your body.
yeah.
You know, Bug be like, I'm not there yet. Can you like pump your brakes, please?
But that's the thing is that, but I also feel like whether like she's there or not, like the fact that you guys you're open to the dialogue. A lot of times people are not open to the dialogue. And I think that you have to be open to the dialogue. Because if you're not open to the dialogue, then you are sending people out here just reckless abandon, and they just don't know what's what.
And that's how you end up our age spreading the sexual myths and fallacies.
Yes.
Don't be those people.
Please don't.
Read a book. Read the internet.
You said read a book, read a book, read a motherfucking book. My favorite song.
Learn yourself something.
Yes, please learn
That's
yourself.
it.
It's not that hard, baby. Just learn yourself something, please.
This is our almost last episode for our sex month. Next week is the last one.
Yeah, next week is the last.
Yes.
So come back. I hope you all have listened and you've learned.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, we're not clowns all the time.
No, I mean most of the time.
Until episode 53. Adios, amigos.
Bye, y'all.